Hey, welcome back gamers to Gamer Guide channel. I am Roland in Robocraft and Gamer Guide, and in this episode we're going to be looking at the Tier 10 Electromantor, something I had mentioned in an earlier video. It is basically a redesign of the Electromantis and something set up for team orders with top mount nano disruptors, and that's really important for the team orders as you need to get those crystals off the fusion towers and healing and everything like that too. It just works better having top mount guns in this game. Now, I've noticed there's going to be a new patch this week that's going to be removing, supposedly, the tier system and a couple other things in the game that have been restrictive. So some of the older builds that people have been frustrated about not working anymore, or just the things from team orders, will probably be reverted, and some of those things will open back up. But I'm not exactly sure how it's going to affect things, so I'm being a little bit cautious. So this week is going to be a little bit light in the department of Robocraft videos. This will probably be the only Robocraft video I do until the 27th when the new update comes up, and I'll definitely put a video out at that time kind of going over the changes and looking at some more of the robots I have ready and waiting for you guys to check out. But I figured let's do a quick little design video at least on the Electromantor. This will probably be something I do a build video on, as it'd be pretty simple, and I like putting out the healing builds as you know, everybody benefits from a good healer. So on this particular build, I redesigned, of course, the bottom side of basically a Tier 9 Electromantis and added a little more protection, made it a little lighter, kind of general improvements. I did put the thrusters outside of the electroplates, which normally I try not to do as they have a tendency to be shot off. However, when you have your thrusters mounted central like this, if you get one knocked off, it doesn't really affect your flying. Now if you have one way on the outside on the front or back, then yes, you'll end up doing somersaults. But in this particular configuration, it does not affect it negatively. We are using 6 hover blades on this. I am using 2 Tier 6 and 1 Tier 10 on either side for top speed. It does fly very stably and very quickly, as we use a lot of Tier TX1 and Tier 10, a couple kind of sparingly though, cubes throughout to keep it light, and it's worked out pretty well. I on the top have filled in these little gaps here with these Tier 10.4 electroplates, and this is something that I've seen a couple of people who have built my Tier 9 do, and I thought it was a good idea, especially now that all the tier are equivalent here for the electroplates. Everything's Tier 10 essentially on this, so I like that a lot. I incorporated it, and it's worked out really well. We do have a little gap here in the center, but I haven't had an issue with that yet, and I did build this top part up enough where it can take some hits in case somebody is lucky enough to get a real shot through there and get me. And more often than not, that's what's coming through. Every once in a while, a plasma and stuff, but I really haven't had any problems at all with the top being a little bit open, especially since the driver's seat doesn't really transfer damage, and these blocks are strong enough where you're not going to really core down to the bottom where the seat is if you do it yourself. I did add a little bayonet mount to the front. I think it is good to have a little Tesla coil action going on just so you can contribute or knock someone off or kind of sway the balance of things in the middle of healing up your allies. I usually do just play this as a straight healer though, but you know, every once in a while if there's a standoff and you make the difference, you might as well get in there and make that difference. I do like this configuration on the bottom a little bit more, using more of the smaller plates near the pilot seat area, because it's harder to knock off these plates or get a second shot with a railgun in the exact same spot, so that's why I did that on the side. And it adds a little bit more area too, and I lowered the actual position of these hover blades to where they used to be. Lighter cubes up top, and then we put a couple more of the heavier blocks here in the center column, just to kind of be a counterbalance, and that way we can really bury these down and keep them from getting shot off. So there's the position of the Tier 10 hoverblade, and then over here we have our other front and back. We have our radar jammers, and we do have a radar on this as well. So it's fully functional. It's a lot quicker than the droid, or as you know it, Dojo bot. But a lot of people have been enjoying that, so thank you guys for checking out that video. I see you guys out there with it, and I've heard even people have done some improvements to it, so see what you can do with this one. But I think it turned out pretty well, and it is a lot of fun to play. And speaking of fun to play, why don't we take it out into a match right now and see how we do. that's kind of a little fun build to play with. Something that if you're just trying to see how much you can heal for, it's a good way to do it. So I got number 1 in healing on my team, which is really what I was going for. I wasn't really trying to get any kills or anything like that. There was a couple people I rammed, but damage is definitely a secondary, as I think I'm probably, well, 3rd worst on the entire game, pretty much overall for damage dealt, so that wasn't the point. But did pretty good on total score. Well, I guess not that great, kind of in the middle. But if you just want something to support your friends and play healer, and it did definitely make a difference there, keeping everybody up. We were able to push all the way to the end and win it. I'd say give this a try. It's a nice change of play style. So got our, well, that was, what, 314,000 for the daily bonus, which is pretty low actually, compared to what you get playing a combat profession. And hopefully they change that. I wish that the medics were, you know, getting more or whatever for healing, but it seems like that number's dipped a little bit as you really make the big bucks now with the SMGs and the plasmas and all that kind of good stuff. But still a lot of fun. Check it out, guys. I will be putting a build video out on this, and feel free to make your own improvements. You might want to add more Tesla coils instead of having maybe these radar jammers. Or take off some of the TX1 blocks, put regular tier 10 on, and then you could put an entire swath of these Tesla blades on the bottom. You know, use a couple more of the arrow rods here coming off, and you could create a little loop on the bottom, and then it would be just as deadly as all the other Tesla medics out there. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this kind of short episode week here on Gamer Guide, and I did get a new mic. If I sound a little bit different, it's because of the new mic, and let me know what you guys think of the way that sounds. And I'll see you guys in my next video, which is probably going to be another Scraps video. So if you guys are interested in the other game, kind of similar to Robocraft, so I've been playing a little bit more of it, and I'll unlocked a couple more things in it too that we can play around with in one of those next episodes. So until next time, guys, please give me a thumbs up and a comment in the area below there. And if you're new, please subscribe. I'd appreciate that very much. And I'll see you guys in my next episode. Later.